What is going on, Bold Nation, and welcome to another Destiny 2 video. Today, I'm going to give you guys the best build for PvP using your mobility, resilience, and recovery. And what is the best stats you could possibly use to be very effective in PvP. This is going to work across all three classes, Titan, Hunter, and Warlock. But before we get started, I do want to take this time to say thank you guys for everybody that has supported me in Patreon. You guys are extremely amazing. And as a way of getting back, if you guys do the Patreon, I will be helping you guys with trials and the raids. So do keep that in mind if that's something you guys would be interested. But without further ado, let's talk about the best build for PvP. Now, if you guys are new to Destiny, or even if you're a current player who is coming in from Destiny 1, mobility, resilience, and recovery are things that you probably aren't really familiar with. It changed a lot from Destiny 1, and also if you're new to Destiny, you probably are trying to figure out, what's the best thing I could possibly do to actually get the best results in PvP. So let's go ahead and talk about what each one does, and then I'll tell you guys exactly why I believe this is the best build and why I recommend you guys using this and trying this out for your character. Now, let's start off with mobility. So mobility increases your movement speed and maximum jump height. Then we have resilience, increases the amount of damage you can take before dying, and recovery increases the speed at which you regain your lost health. So let's start off with mobility. So mobility increases the movement speed and maximum jump height. Now, jumping in this game is not that big of a priority, especially on all three classes. You're not going to notice that much difference if you boost this all the way up to 10, if you boost this up to 5. There's not going to be that much of a difference. Also, the increased movement speed is not based on how fast you're going to sprint. It's actually based on how fast you walk. So mobility is not that big of an issue when it comes to actually putting this apart. The only time mobility will be productive for you is if you plan on strafing. Now, strafing becomes very viable in PvP, and if you consider strafing to be a very key component for you when you're playing PvP, then you want to push this mobility up to like a 3 or a 4. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about resilience. So resilience increases the amount of damage you can take before dying. This is just based on fall damage or a grenade or anything like that, but this one kind of goes pair in pair with recovery. So basically, I would say anything that's 4 or higher is a really good point to hit the resilience. Now, if you're 3 or if you're 4 and lower, you're going to be dying at a regular cost the way regular people do. The higher you increase the resilience, the more you're going to be able to take. Let's take, for example, being shot by a Mida. Usually, if your resilience is 4 or lower, it's going to take about 2 headshots and 2 body shots. That's a total of 4 shots. If your resilience is higher than 4, it's going to take 5 shots to actually kill you. So that kind of gives you an idea of what, where you want to play around with resilience. The last one we're going to be talking about is recovery. Now, recovery increases the speed at which you regain your health. So basically, if you're shooting someone and someone's shooting you back, this is, and you take cover, this is going to increase the amount of time that it takes for your health to go from 0 or from the red all the way back to filled up. Now, I would say anything that is 8 or higher is a really good recovery. Me personally, I think anything that's 9 or higher is really, really good, especially for PvP, because that gives you ability to go ahead, shoot the enemy, take cover, and get back into the forefront of the fight fairly, really quickly. Not only that, but if you're running a Warlock, you have your Rift, so your recovery is going to be increased a lot more quicker. Now, let's talk about what is the best build. So personally, this is what I consider to be the best build. Usually right now in Trials, everybody's running around with the Mida. So the Mida kind of cancels out the whole mobility aspect of your Warlock. If you're running the Mida in Trials, or you're playing with the Mida, then your mobility stat is not going to be important. That's why I like to keep my mobility at least at a 1 or a 2. But 1 should be good for you regardless of any problem. You won't see any exponential cost in how fast you're moving. In the resilience perk, I like to keep this at a 4. The reason why I like to keep this at a 4, because this is going to cost someone to actually take an extra shot when shooting me, and it might let me win that 1v1 battle as opposed to be losing that 1v1 battle, just because they're going to have to put in a little bit more shots on me in order to actually kill me. And for the bottom tier, I like to keep this at a 9. A 10 would be ideal. That's like the perfect. But a 9 is still a very solid number, and one I highly recommend. If you could get a build of a 1, 4, and 10, that would be your number perfect build. But the 1, 4, 9 build is by far the best one you could possibly have for PvP. If you haven't tried this build, I highly recommend you guys play around with your gear, test it out, and see if you're able to get this build. Try it out, and then come back to the video and let me know if this is not the best build for PvP. Now, if you're probably wondering, how do you change these stats? Very easy, guys. All your gears will be dropping with two options. You have the mobility enhancement mod, which, as you see, mobility gets enhanced. And you have the bottom one, which is the restorative mod. As you guys see, recovery gets maxed out. It's just a matter of playing around with different sets of armor to be able to maximize that tier. But by far, I think this is the best PvP build. Once again, like I said, try this out. Come back and let me know what you guys think. And I will also have a PvE build, and I will also have a perk build for each subclass and what I consider to be the best perk build for each individual subclass. Let me know in the comment section down below which one out of all those videos would you like to see first. Please let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. Now, if you did, please remember to help me out by liking the video and most importantly, sharing the video with your friends. If you want to stay up to date with all things gaming, make sure you hit that sub button. And if you want to get in touch with me and stay informed on the latest things that are happening in the channel, the best way is to hit me up on Twitter at GFLaserbolt. The link is down below, and also follow me on Twitch. If you would like to support the channel, you can always join the Laser Nation by supporting us via Patreon. Once again, the link is also down below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video.